Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways on this happy Thanksgiving, November 26, 2020. And a very happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And what do you have to give thanks for? Well, you don't really have to tell me, but if you feel like it, drop it in the comments below. I have to be thankful for my beautiful homestead out here in the desert. Hey, look, that's the work table where Tomcat's room addition or safe room was sitting. And it's empty. Huh. What's that mean? Well, I just brought that back in here because it was outside for a little while, and I'll show you why. I'm sure some of you have already guessed, but we're going to head that way anyway. And step out here into the sun, and the winds just started coming up. They're not that bad, just a light breeze, probably 7 miles an hour or so. But look at this. Oh my gosh, Tomcat has his safe room set up. I put my ladder there temporarily. I'm going to build a smaller ladder like that takes up some space so that it kind of blocks his entrance. But for right now, he can actually jump up on this pile of wood. That little board is fastened right to the container with some angle brackets underneath, but it'll only support probably at the most maybe 10 pounds. So Tomcat should be able to get across that without a problem, but if anything heavier tried to jump on it, it should break right off. Then going around the back side, let's see if I can get over there. I put a 2x4 with an angle brace fastened up against the side of the cage, and I blocked the rest of the cage with another piece of that siding so that because the tarp would have to make funny bends and curves to get around to seal the other cage off. Although there is a little opening on the back side there, I have a feeling that Tomcat's going to be moving from there pretty soon, because this has been set up for about an hour, and Tomcat hasn't ventured out of his bed yet. So he seems comfortable where he's at. He's not frustrated or in any pain or anything like that. He's happy to be alive, because Lord knows if I hadn't taken him up here to my homestead, he would be ashes right now. Anyway, he has that little board, and it's got a space between it, so he's got to jump from that board to that board, and then he go inside. Now, I'm going to open this up, and we'll take a look inside. I did set up his igloo in here. I moved his food and water over to this side, so that's going to entice him to come over here and check that out. Then once he gets out of that unit there and does his roaming around, I'm going to fix that one up, because you notice that the linoleum that's in there, I didn't put that in. That's the way it came when I got Tomcat and the cage. But cold air just comes right up through that base right there, and doesn't really give him any secure warmth at night. And I have a couple pieces of FRP, and I'm going to get a measurement of the inside of the cage and cut a piece of FRP, so as soon as Tomcat ventures out, see, I got a hole cut in the cage here now so you can go from one to the other, and I put these extra boards in here to seal it up against this old cage, so there's no openings there for anything to try to squeeze in or anything like that. So anyway, he has his new little igloo here, and he can crawl in there, and there's his doorway to go out there. He's going to sooner or later realize that goes outside, but that's only when he gets up and comes for food. He's going to venture in here. He's got to check this out. He's got to feel comfortable with it before he starts moving around. I did clean his other cage out a little bit, but when I get him out of there, I'm going to pull his bed and clean under his bed. And there's another bed down here that's in better shape, so I'm going to put that bed inside of there in case he decides he doesn't like the igloo. He can always go into that other bed. So that's what we got done so far today on this happy Thanksgiving. And Tomcat has the ability now, because there is nothing blocking his way, he has the ability to come out of there, go down through that hallway, and go outside if he wants to. He is no longer imprisoned in his cage. He has the option of staying or going. So we'll see what happens. Right now, he's just listening to me talk, and he's closing his eyes and sleeping. He's not, that doesn't find me as a threat anymore. When I was just cleaning out his cage, I was right up against his bed, and he didn't even hiss at me. He was watching me build all of this and put it all together, and the sound of the power tools and the screw gun on hammer drill and all that stuff didn't bother him one bit. He knows that I was doing it all just for him. And once I seal this other cage up a little bit better, I think he's going to be even happier, because he's going to have his own little safe house here whenever he wants it. And I'm going to be moving some of the tarp here. I'm going to put a wood panel in this doorway, so I don't have to have the tarp down in front anymore, because you have to take this apart with the bungee cord and the clamps and all of that each time to get in there to do cleaning. But in the future, this will have a solid door on it with a window, so I can open it up and make sure everything's okay inside there before I open it up. I always talk to him before I come in and open this up, so he knows it's me coming. And same thing with my chickens. I walk down there and I say, "How you doing, kids?" And they all jump up on the perch, get all excited that I'm coming. They start clucking away. They know that I'm coming down there with some treats for them. So that's what we're doing here. So this is done. And you want to know how I got this all done by myself? Well, what I did was, years ago, I made this little modification unit for this hand truck. And you can see it basically has two pieces of angle iron right there. And you just put those right over the top and drop it down into place, and it locks right there. And it's solid. And I was using this to move my 20-gallon water barrels around when I first started out here. And when I took them off a trailer, they were right at the same height as this, so it was basically slide them onto this and then wheel them where I wanted to go. And I always set those up higher so that I would have gravity feed from them. So this always made that easy. Well, I took that unit and I put this under it, right under the front side of it when it was inside of the unit. And then I put a ratchet strap around it and anchored those on right here, one on each side. And then I ratcheted it down until it was locked up against this. And then I just tipped the whole unit like this and carried it out here. Then I actually laid it down like this onto the ground temporarily. And then I went and got the work table that I was just showing you that was empty on the inside. And I slid that under here. And I put some blocks of wood on top of that, so I got it to within a half an inch or so of the right height. And then I just tilted in place, put the leg underneath it, and that leg is screwed together. That's not going to fall out of there. It's screwed down through the floor of the inside of the cage. And I'm going to put a couple of screws in the bottom foot of it right there, just so that doesn't slide around. But I got that into place, and then I climbed up on top with my ladder, and I shot my screws into the cleats on the top that hold it in place. So there we go. It's in place. It's done. And I did it by myself, because I figured out last night while I was sleeping how to work smart instead of hard. And working smart had to do with this little unit that I had almost forgotten that I had it. And this is a Harbor Freight hand truck. It's called Bigfoot. When I bought it, it used to be red, and then it turned pink from the sun, and now I don't know what color it is. It's almost a light purple. But anyway, I've got a lot of use out of this thing, and these are the no air tires. These are solid rubber tires, so I don't have to worry about running over nails and them going flat or anything like that. Yep, got a lot of use out of this thing, and it came in handy again today. And now I've got an access underneath here. I can still get to my drain over there for my first flush that comes off of the rainwater that comes off the roof of the containers and garage. and that goes into those. Now, I did put a manifold on this one, and I enlarged it. I went up to 1.5 inches instead of the inch that I've been using, because when you fill up one of these, it takes too long for the water to transfer across for a 1 inch. So I'm hoping the 1.5 will work better. And these were the small throat openings on them, and they're 2 inch. So I found out that I could use a no-hub coupler. That's that metal with rubber on it. I slid that over the end of that unit. Then I put a bushing in there, which is a 2 inch to 1.5 inch bushing. And same thing over on that side. And then I can glue my T and my 90 together and tie them together. And then I put a 3/4 inch hose bib on this end because that's what I use to transfer water down to the garden house. And I wanted to go a little bit faster, so I didn't want a little 5/8 hose. I wanted a 3/8 hose. I wanted a 3/4 so that I could transfer water faster. Now those two valves down there are shut off right now. This one has half full of water from the last water delivery. That was the leftover water in the truck. Excuse me. So anyway, that's all clean, fresh water, and I can run that down to the garden house whenever I want to, because the next thing I've got to do is I'm going to be taking a hose off of that unit right there and putting it inside of this cover right here. So yeah, it does run uphill, but anything that's above this level of this container when it fills up with rain will transfer down to these two units when I open those two valves. So these will take the initial rain coming in and transfer it down to these, and then when these are full, I just shut off that one T handle right there and let those others fill up. And in the meantime, I can run a hose from here down to the garden house and step around here. Now that one's still full. Those are half empty right now, and the other one next to it is half empty. And excuse me, I stepped out into the sun and got a sun sneeze. Anyway, so I can transfer this hose right here. I can transfer water down to those from here, and because those are higher than what this is, what I'll do is I'll put my transfer pump down there, which runs off of solar, and there is solar at the greenhouse. And I can run off of solar for my transfer pump down there and just pump this water through the hose and then just up into those containers and fill up all of my containers down there as soon as the rains come. Now there was a chance of rain earlier last week. They were talking about a chance of rain for today or maybe tomorrow, but there ain't no chance of rain. Look at this. They changed that. There's no chance, but the winds are blowing. And I understand that LA and Orange County are getting Santa Anas today. So I hope everybody down there is safe. They're talking about possible power outages for Thanksgiving, which is today. Because of the fire dangers and things like that, they might have to cut power here and there. And all those people that have electric ovens with the turkey in it, if their power goes out, I don't think they're going to be very happy with Edison. Anyway, I don't have to worry about that. I don't even get a bill from Edison. So, yahoo! All right, everybody, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Those of you outside the country that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, whatever you do on today, have a great time doing it. Thank you for joining me. This is G Bear signing off.